Many thanks for staying with us here on News Desk. To some more stories now. We'll be coming back to some politics, but let's still talk education now. And Pupils of Adam-Kyiren Methodist Basic School in the Gomorrah district of the Central Region have been forced to sit on the floor during lesson periods due to the absence of desks. Now, the school, built by the government in 1952 to serve the two communities, Adam community and the Kyiren community, is faced with serious logistic challenges. Now, there are no desks for the pupils. The building has serious cracks on it, and teachers have to sit under a tree, serving as their staff common room. We'll be bringing you a lot more on this. In fact, we did bring to you a bit of this a while back, but my colleague, Austin Barco-Powers with myjournline.com has been following up on the story. He has visited the community again and is joining me now in studio with an update on the situation there. Now, Austin, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, my brother.
So what's the update as far as this very sad situation is concerned?
Yeah, I think during the first story, when we did the first story, we promised our viewers that we are going to do a follow-up, by way of getting to know what is on the ground and what the Ghana Education Service Directorate in the district has been doing so far as the condition of the pupils are concerned. So we visited the ground yesterday to
just so I could let viewers know, what you're seeing now is the structure that the students are having to make do with. While we'll be showing you what it is that you see when you enter that very structure. Quite a number of pupils are having to sit on the bare floor. Some are even having to lie on their stomachs on the floor just so they can get tuition over there. So
so we visited the school, to get to know how the people themselves feel learning in that situation. So when we got there, we spoke to the headmistress. She was apprehensive because, she felt she's dealing with, or she is under the Ghana Education Service, and she could not talk to us, the media, without having been cleared by the Ghana Education Service. So we spoke to the Queen Mother, and I think it would be important we let the viewers know what the Queen Mother said. She expressed vividly, the situation, and according to her, for over a period of 4 years, she's been lamenting and writing letters to the district authority as well as the Ghana Education Service within the district, but nothing so far.
Okay, let's take a listen to the Queen Mother for Adam-Kyiren and hear the concerns she's going to articulate, and then we'll be back in the studio and tell you a lot more.
Here school no, be a daycare one. I know share community ne akasa. Yes, them daycare no.
It used to be a workshop. Then we turned it into a school. The conditions are very bad, I know. We've sent lots of complaints, but nothing has been done. It really saddens me that after every effort, nothing has still been done.
So that was the Queen Mother for Adam-Kyiren, and she's been speaking to Austin Barco-Powers of myjournline.com. So Austin, maybe you could summarize for us what it is she was saying exactly.
Yeah, I think what she was articulating could be put under two categories.
Okay.
The first one is that she has said as a assemblywoman for the district for a period of 8 years.
Okay.
And according to her, because she was close to the assembly, she felt she could use opportunity to have the challenges, facing the school addressed. But she realized that, it was beyond her. So now she feels if the authority, the district assembly, is not doing anything, then the media should come in so that, the Ghanaian populace would come to know or understand the challenges, the strait the children have had to, learn under. And again, she felt there was some bit of politics being played over there.
Okay.
Because there were, let me say, there's this group that is against, her group. According to, for them, the community is divided into
factions there.
So there are two factions, and there's one group against her, and they believe that she is supposedly an MPP and trying to, dramatize the bad aspect of the government. So she wants the people in the community to understand that as a Queen Mother, she seeks the welfare of everybody, and there is no way she will, stand or try to be in a position to divide the community.
Okay, so clearly a pretty bad picture it appears to be over there. What has been the reaction from the director of the GES at that district?
I think yesterday it was a bit of a drama.
Okay.
Actually, let me put it that way, because when we got to the scene, And when we started speaking to the Queen Mother, we realized that the district education service director drove in with some of his men, trying to harass us, prevent us from going about or interviewing the woman. The man actually expressed some misgiving with regards to the interview we were conducting. And according to him, we were supposed to have gotten some clearance from him before we could even speak to the Queen Mother. And we told him, this is a Queen Mother, and she's the owner of the land. She could decide when to speak to the press or when to speak to the media and when not to speak. So it became a bit, it was like a scuffle. So the GES director was trying to query us with regards to why we were doing the story and that, about the fact that the story, the angle we picked the story from appeared to be misconstrued. And we thought if you have any real agenda, it's important you put it across. Then we check the fact and you know who is saying the truth or not. So I think we can...
we're going to take a listen to the GES director for Adam-Kyiren.
It is this man on my wrong information. A friend who
Okay, so when we get to Accra, you hear from us. Am I taking this?
So that was just a bit of the altercation that ensued on the day when Austin Bracco and the news team arrived there, trying to get a response from the GES as to why their pupils having to sit on the bare floor just so they can learn. Some are even having to lie on their bellies just so they can learn. A pretty dire situation there. I still have with me Austin Bracco, who has been telling us a lot more about what he's seen there. So, Austin, aside all these things, did he give us any reasons, any justification, whether or not the ministry or the GES was considering bringing in some sort of intervention?
Yeah, I think, first of all, if you are listening carefully to the GES director for the district, you realize that he was trying to defend himself. According to him, when the first story broke out, he received a call from the headquarters, that's the one in Accra, about the fact that why is he opposed and he has allowed the media men to portray a bad picture about the school, and why he's not trying to cover everything. So he even called the district assembly, he called the head, that's the DCE, he called the DCE to speak to the Queen Mother, and they were trying to plead the Queen Mother so that she could beg us not to do the story. So later I spoke to the Queen Mother, and the Queen Mother said for her she's tired. And there is no way she will sit there for the story to be covered when the children are suffering, and some have had to even stay home because when you go to school, there are no desks for them to sit on. So finally, he promised us that within the space of 2 weeks, the school will be provided with some comfortable desks, and with the structure, the deteriorating structure, he says the district assembly will try and put up some structure within a matter of maybe 6 or 7 months. So definitely he gave us some timeline, but we are yet to see. We cannot question whether it is feasible or not. Our responsibility to make sure that we get the result for the community and for the people, because it is their right to get educated. So long as we have enshrined in our constitution that education is a right, then it is within our remit to make sure that we put the necessary logistical, structures in place to make sure that the children have unimpeded access to quality education. Right.
Austin, many thanks for that update. And that was Austin Bracco, my colleague with myjoyonline.com, who has been following up on that very sad story in Adam-Kyiren, the Gumwa district. The assurance now being given by the GES is that between now and the next 2 weeks, desks are going to be provided for these children, these pupils, so that they can get the tuition they need and learn under the proper conditions. Also, They're saying that the structure itself will be fixed within the next 7 months. We'll be following this issue keenly. We'll be bringing you a lot more updates as and when we do have them. But time now for some business updates here on News Desk. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.